You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, a crisis is growing in Missouri over daycare. Our very own Lonnie Walton shares the struggles that families and daycare centers are facing.
Also, a chili and soup feed in Joplin raises funds that will help those who struggle with their sight.
And a different kind of chilly this morning as temperatures are into the 30s right now, but we will be warmer later. I'll look at that forecast to get you out the doors coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Elise Snow.
I'm Chris Warner, just after 7 a.m. on this finally Friday, November the 15th.
Here we are.
That's here. We've made it once again, and each week we make it is a good thing.
It certainly is. It really is.
Now, the wild thing, though, is we're halfway through the month of November and 13 days away from Thanksgiving.
Which is so exciting.
Oh, yeah,
Thanksgiving's one of my
absolutely.
favorite holidays, so I cannot wait.
It's going to be a lot of fun. And in the interim, though, some problems in the state of Missouri right now with childcare.
Yes, Missouri is facing a growing crisis in its childcare system as delays in state subsidy payments continue to affect both families and providers. Now, some low-income families rely on those subsidies to afford daycare.
However, with payments lagging due to a glitch when the state switched systems last year, many daycare centers have been forced to either raise fees for families or, in some cases, shut their doors entirely. KOAM's Lonnie Walton has the story.
I have new families starting, and the state is not the best about getting them approved.
Addie Vogt is the owner of Treehouse Academy. She says getting funding from the state can be a little hectic sometimes.
A kiddo that started in August, and I still haven't, her family hasn't been approved yet. And so the parent has to pay me their full tuition.
Not only that, Vogt says some kids are with her for months before she gets a dime.
I even have a foster kid who I'm not allowed to charge their family anything at all. And they hadn't paid me since April. They eventually back paid all of it.
Carrie Swinford, the owner of Magical Adventures, says she's heard all about the terrors of subsidies. Therefore, she just stays away.
Big nightmare happened where I started hearing that centers all across Missouri were closing down because the state of Missouri was so behind in their payments.
She says she takes individuals on subsidies, just not their money.
I would have to set up a payment with them, maybe offer them some private scholarships.
Both Swinford and Vogt are still hopeful for the future.
I was never worried. I always knew that I'd get paid eventually. I was just always worried about when.
It's a great place to be. We have a lot of fun. The kids learn a lot.
Reporting in Joplin, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
Now, we reached out to the Missouri Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, and they responded saying that they're aware of the situation and are working to resolve it.
It's one of those situations, you know, like it makes it so difficult for families because daycare prices are not cheap. We've talked about in recent years just the daycare crisis in general, the lack of available providers. And then when you finally find one, and now you can't afford it anymore. You know, and it's
so hard.
It's a very difficult balance. Hopefully it's something that'll get resolved soon.
Certainly.
Well, we've got ourselves a pretty cold start to the day out there. We are sitting in the 30s, but the sunrise looks beautiful from our camera in downtown Pittsburgh. So see, you don't have to go outside and see it. We can show it to you from right here. And it looks great. Doesn't it look fantastic? It's just the temperatures don't feel so fantastic. MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline in Joplin looking back to the north. A few more folks getting their day underway. And here before too much longer, Rangeline will be filled with vehicles as everyone starts to go on out. All right, through 8 a.m., quick reminder for folks, frost advisory, Oklahoma, freeze warning, Benton County, through 8 a.m. because, well, it got really cold last night. Temperatures, though, today going to be warmer than yesterday. In fact, yesterday at noon into the 50s, today at noon into the 60s. We'll have a south breeze at about 5 to 10 miles an hour and clear skies. So, again, just an absolutely beautiful day as we head into our Friday. Right now, though, it looks beautiful. Doesn't feel that way. Like, I don't do the cold, so this does not feel beautiful. 39 in Joplin, 35 in Pittsburgh. I know there are folks who enjoy the cold, and my hat is off to you. If this is your weather, or if you're a Siberian Husky, all right, you probably are enjoying this. We're talking 30s for the majority of us. Still some 40s, Yates Center, Chanute, and Iola. So the thing is, though, this is where we should be. So we're at least average to start the day. We're going to be warm warmer, as I mentioned. Clear skies, upper 60s, couple of low 70s possible. Clouds start increasing on Saturday, and then rain chances begin increasing as we head into Sunday. And we have that Arctic blast next week as well. Details on all that here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, 2 Carthage residents die in a crash on I-49 near Jasper. Authorities say the crash happened Wednesday afternoon when a driver traveling south on the interstate fell asleep at the wheel, almost coming to a stop. A pickup then rear-ended the vehicle at highway speeds. There were 4 people in the passenger car. 2 were taken to Joplin hospitals and 2 died at the scene. Veronica Azucena Mariquin Chavez and Eric Francisco Vasquez Mariquin. The driver of the pickup was not injured. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's, of course, available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. The Joplin Association for the Blind held its annual chili and soup fundraiser. Now, for $8, people could come in and grab some spaghetti red or vegetable soup. And dessert was also available. The organization says the funds raised through events like this make a lot of difference.
It would be harder. We would function, but it would be harder. You would be more limited, for things that you can do or the items that you can purchase for your low vision center.
The organization provides services for more than 7,000 adults with vision loss in an 80-mile radius. Watered Gardens in Joplin served up its annual Empty Bowls event yesterday. People could come out and for a minimum $25 donation, enjoy a bowl of soup, take home a handcrafted pottery bowl, and help raise money for a good cause. The funds raised through the event help Watered Gardens feed the hungry in the community.
Community to take away the fact that they gave a donation and they're carrying a beautiful handcrafted bowl that they can take home with them, and every time they eat out of their bowl, and especially when their bowl is empty, they can remember that somewhere out there someone else's bowl is empty.
This marked the 12th year for the Empty Bowls event. And those are our top news stories this half hour. Coming up next, a key to Trump's victory stems from strong support from Latino voters. We're going to hear about a deeper meaning behind as we able to win over the border countries. And later, AI is bringing to life one of history's most influential people from World War II. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. We'll be right back, but first, here's a live look from the Young's Ford Bridge for Fort Scott Bridge Awareness Month. Topping Nation Watch this morning. Well, if you're eyeing a new job, you might want to press pause on writing a resume and open up TikTok and record a video instead. Experts are seeing a notable increase among Gen Zers who are harnessing the power of social media in a tough job market, attempting to stand out from the crowd by submitting recorded content in place of a traditional application. And many applicants say by posting a clip, they also get more eyes on them and what they have to offer, opening more work opportunities. Well, a health report shows how many people may have a debilitating condition, and it highlights who may not be getting help for it. A study published in the Lancet Medical Journal says more than 800 million adults worldwide have diabetes, which is nearly twice as many as previous estimates from the World Health Organization. Now, the study also says more than half of people 30 or older who have diabetes aren't receiving any treatment for it. The study finds the global population of those with diabetes has doubled since 1990 to 14%. Many Democrats are still shaken by President-elect Trump's performance in some traditionally blue regions. President-elect Trump won 14 of 18 border counties in Texas, displaying strength with Latino voters. Fox News correspondent Brooke Taylor takes a look from Eagle Pass.
In the heart of Eagle Pass, Texas, just minutes from the border, sits Blue Bonnet Baked Goods.
And then we have apple caramel streusel cheesecake.
Jacqueline Barrientos, a hardworking mother of two, opened the bakery 2 years ago. She says illegal migrants have been driving customers away, which is why this November she voted for Donald Trump for the first time.
We would have illegals just like walking around, People didn't want to really stop because they were afraid.
Trump nearly swept all the Texas counties along the southern border that typically vote Democrat. In Texas, Starr County, a majority Latino area voted Republican for the first time since 1896. Democrats can't seem to understand why.
Latinos in Texas, a district that's 97% Latino, went 75 percentage points for Donald Trump. Why?
Misogyny.
It's on the border. The border crisis is on their doorstep.
That is why we hit the streets to hear directly from Latino Trump voters in these border counties.
I don't know what to say, BS. To me, it doesn't matter if you're male or female.
It's gas and grocery and the taxes.
It's costly. Right now, you don't get anything for less than $15, for one person.
Everyday voters fed up, just struggling to get by.
It's like, do I pay my light bill or do I go buy a piece of cheesecake from a small business? It's been hard, but we're hanging in there.
Well, Democrats say they were surprised by these border counties flipping. Not a single voter we spoke to says they were surprised. They said had people gone out to these communities, spoke to your everyday voters just like we did, then they would have realized the struggles that they're dealing with on a daily basis. Reporting in Eagle Pass, I'm Brooke Taylor, Fox News.
And those are our top national stories. Here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Now, we got a beautiful start to the day, albeit a bit on the chilly side. You can see those clear skies, though, from our camera in downtown Pittsburgh. We are going to be a little warmer later today. We'll talk about that, our warm overnights, the rain chances, and the Arctic blast, and just this kind of crazy circus of weather we have in the next few days here in just a few more minutes. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is 7:17 on this Friday morning. Start with a live look from downtown Pittsburgh. Got a great shot out there with those clear skies. Folks getting their day underway, and our camera at 7th and Range Line. Again, clear skies, looks beautiful. Again, temperatures, unless you really like the cold, don't feel too beautiful. And that's why through at least 8 a.m., frost advisories into Oklahoma, freeze warning into Benton County in Arkansas. So it is a bit on the chilly side this morning. But it will be warmer today than where we were yesterday. In fact, by noon, yesterday we were at the 50s. Today we're going to be in the low 60s. We'll have a south breeze at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Outside of that, like yesterday, clear skies throughout the rest of our afternoon and evening. It won't be until tomorrow morning it will start to go partly cloudy out there. So lows tonight be a little warmer, but still not that far from normal as we go low 40s overnight tonight. Tomorrow, though, similar to today, just a few more clouds and the winds are picking up. They'll pick up tonight, start gusting out of the south to about 20, and then tomorrow those winds will start gusting out of the south upwards of 30. And our temperatures tomorrow, similar to today, upper 60s, maybe some low 70s. But with the cloud cover and that warm south breeze, our overnight temperatures don't drop that much. So even though our highs are only maybe 10, 12 degrees above normal, our overnight lows in some cases may be upwards of 20 degrees above average as we go from Saturday night and then again Sunday night out there. By Sunday, partly cloudy to start, clouds thicken up throughout the morning, and then by the evening hours we start to get some showers out there in parts of southeast Kansas, so from Chanute, Fredonia, Howard, Sedan, down towards Bartlesville. And then we'll see more showers and thunderstorms as we go later into the evening and overnight hours from Sunday into Monday. And then we'll have another opportunity for showers and thunderstorms throughout the day on Monday. And we're still pretty far out, but there's at least looking like an opportunity for maybe a stray strong storm or two. So we're talking maybe some small hail, gusty winds. Nothing significantly severe by any means, but there could be a stronger storm or two as we head into Monday afternoon. See, at 39 right now in Joplin, does feel like 36 with a south-southeast breeze at about 5 miles an hour. Across the region, temperatures close to average. Some of it's a little below. We're in the low, mid, and upper 30s. And then we got this pocket of 40s. The 8th Center, Chanute, and Iola all sitting into the low 40s this morning. As we get our day started, low 40s by 8, clear skies, 60 by 11 o'clock this morning. Highs today again, upper 60s, low 70s. with those clear skies again through the evening, down to the upper 40s by 10, low 40s overnight tonight. And we'll continue to warm up again Saturday, Sunday. Shower storms into Monday. Arctic air arrives Tuesday. And again, rain chances Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because our daytime highs, even though they're going to be well below normal, will be warm enough that this will be rain. However, if these slight shower chances continue overnight when temperatures drop into the upper 20s, low 30s. We could see brief bouts of maybe some freezing rain, freezing drizzle. We're not anticipating any kind of significant winter weather event, but it could be enough that our morning commutes Thursday and Friday may be a little bit on the slick side. So do make sure you are prepared for that next week, but you don't need to buy all the bread and milk at this point. It's not going to be that big of a deal, but do be prepared for some slick spots. Let's check your forecast. We're back with more right after this. Well, one of history's most powerful memorials is being brought to life with artificial intelligence and 3D technology.
The Anne Frank House in Amsterdam is going virtual, offering anyone in the world a chance to visit.
The Anne Frank House is one of Amsterdam's most popular tourist sites, with more than 1 million visitors every year.
The girl who became world famous for the diary she wrote during the time she was forced into hiding from the Nazis.
Now a digital doorway is opening. The 3D AI-powered experience lets online guests step into secret spaces.
You can see the famous revolving bookcase, which hid the entrance to the hiding place,
where Anne Frank and her family hid from Nazi persecution.
But in September 1942,
using high-definition cameras and seamlessly stitched images, creators crafted a virtual replica of the museum.
With the virtual tour, you can look everywhere. You can look around, you can look up, you can look down, you can zoom in, so you do get a feeling of space.
Developers say as anti-Semitism grips the globe, they want to reach the widest possible audience.
If we look around the world at the moment, the discrimination, the hate, the division that we see, the Anne Frank story, I think, is so important for people to understand.
The Nazis and their accomplices murdered 6 million Jews.
Ensuring lessons of the Holocaust are not just preserved, but instilled in future generations.
Well, the 3D tour can be found at annefrank.org and will eventually be available in 120 different languages. So see, for somebody like me, I don't like to fly.
Right.
But I can now visit this place without having to get on a plane. And I'm sure seeing it in person, though, still an incredible experience.
Incredible. An important part of history, too.
Yeah.
So incredible to see. Great.
And it's great that it'll be accessible not just for people who are afraid to fly, but for those who maybe legitimately don't have the means to go over and see it in person.
Absolutely. Well, coming up, the city of Arma will be raising its electric rates in hopes of bringing repairs to their community.
And it is going to be a warmer day today than yesterday, even though we've got a colder start out there, plus rain chances on the way. We'll talk about most of this stuff when the KOAM Morning News returns.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:28. I'm Elise Snowy. Well, donations for our annual Feed the 4 States event are coming in. And yesterday, Extreme Power Sports in Webb City gathered the donations it's received to deliver the Crosslines Ministry Food Pantry in Joplin. Now, the food donated for this event goes a long way toward helping to feed the community.
This part of the season tends to just bring out the need. It's also very stressful for families with the extra seasonal expenses. Sometimes they choosing between food and other things that have come along. So donations like this are very helpful.
Extreme Power Sports is one of our Feed the 4 States partners, and they'll be collecting food there until December 31st. Well, Pitt State's December grads celebrate the final weeks of their college journey at last night's Guerrilla Grad Bash. Hosted by the University of Alumni and Constituent Relations, Fall 2024 graduates enjoyed street tacos, games, prizes, and a champagne toast at the Plaster Center. The first 100 attendees received a free Once a Gorilla, Always a Gorilla t-shirt. The grads we spoke to reflected on their college experience.
So my experience at Pittsburgh State University was actually really great. My parents actually my mom went here, and the education program is really nice because I'm an elementary education major, so it's pretty great.
It was a very nice experience staying in the Pittsburgh. It's a very peaceful city, first of all, and the course structure over here is really helpful for me.
December commencement ceremonies take place Friday, December 13th. Well, veterans were invited out to Wildcat Glades for a free lunch yesterday. The event, put on by the Newton and McDonald County Veterans Court, served as another way to show appreciation for veterans and their service.
And unfortunately, some are not with their family around the holidays. With the holidays coming up, it's hard on their kids. Some don't make it back. And if nothing else, think of that. It really is important because they're the ones that are here doing it and give up a lot for us.
In addition to the free lunch, those in attendance were able to take part in activities like cornhole and axe throwing. Now let's check in with Chris for a look at the forecast.
Pretty good this morning. Got a bit of a chilly start out there. We got the sunshine though and clear skies overhead. Looks fantastic. That's our camera downtown Pittsburgh. This is the MoDOT camera, 20th and Rangeline in Joplin. Even more vehicles on the road as we progress through this morning. And I would be willing to bet the majority of them at least probably have the heat on because it's cold. And it's cold enough that overnight we had frost. We still have also through 8 a.m. frost advisories in Oklahoma and a freeze warning in Benton County. On to the future track. Yesterday by noon, 50s. Today by noon, 60s across the area. We'll have a south breeze at around 5 to 10 miles an hour, but otherwise skies are clear and we're a bit warmer. Some upper 60s, maybe even a couple of low 70s out there, but not yet. We got a minute to get there. 39 in Joplin, 35 is where we're at in Pittsburgh right now. And across the area, take a look at these temperatures. Look at Stockton now, down to 32 degrees. A bit on the cold side. And then we have this little warm pocket, though. Warmer pocket. 41, Yates Center, Neodesha, Iola, and 40 in Chanute. The rest of us, though, hanging out in the 30s, so we're about right where we should be. Again, sunny, warm, upper 60s, low 70s, clear skies through the evening. Winds pick up later to this evening and into the overnight, gusting out of the south upwards of 20. They'll ramp up for our Saturday, and our rain chances increase by Sunday, and then our chances of Arctic air really increase as we head into next week. Details on all of that in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, Arma residents and business owners will see an increase in their electricity rates. KOAM's Melissa Alexis has more on the reasons behind the rate hike.
I'm not over the moon like
Laura Pryor is a small business owner in Arma, and she's not looking forward to the electricity rate increase. But she's focusing on ways to minimize costs in her business to make up for the electricity rate increase.
to help keep our costs down so that we can compensate with rising costs overall for expenses and energy. We make our as much as we can homemade, such as our chili.
In a 3-to-1 vote by the Arma City Council, they voted to increase Arma's electricity rate by 1.5%. This will go into effect in 2025.
If it had been applied to my bill this month, it would have increased it by $1.24, $1.24 for the 950 kilowatts. So it's not, as you see, a huge increase.
Arma City Clerk Betty Lesson says the money will benefit the Arma community. She says one of the expenses the money will go towards is paying for the repair of the city pool.
This money is not spent on raises. It's not spent on outside frivolous items. This money goes directly to the city and stays here and benefits all of us in the long run.
While Pryor says she doesn't necessarily support an electricity rate increase,
But I'm not against it, and I can understand the reasoning behind it.
she believes the rate increase is necessary for the city to make its payments.
There are more than likely behind the scenes things that the community is not aware of that the city's having to pay for, or that they are needing to cover expense-wise, and so you adjust where you can make that revenue up.
The city clerk encourages community members who have questions about the rate increase to come to the city council and learn more about how it will be used. Reporting in Arma, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
The rate will increase by 1.5% next March and then by another 1.5% next November. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. It's Friday, and that means our very own Shannon Becker is in the studio with his big 3 stories of the week. We'll be right back, but first, here's a live look from Young's Ford Bridge located in Vernon County, Missouri. Welcome back. We've got Shannon Becker in the studio with his big 3 news stories of the week. Good morning and happy Friday to you, Shannon.
Finally Friday, like you and
Finally
Chris
Friday.
said.
Here we go.
Let's take a look at the big 3 stories this week, live and local. What's happening where you live? Yesterday, it was a house fire in the Fairview neighborhood of Joplin. You can see where neighbors said thick black smoke was rolling out of the front of that house. It happened just about noontime when you went on the air yesterday. Firefighters arrived. They pulled a recliner out the front door that was on fire, put that out really quickly. The resident did suffer injury. He was transferred to an area hospital, unknown injuries currently, but believed that it would probably take a little while to heal. Had a burn to his hand is what one of the neighbors
was
told
there a
us.
reason? Did they come
Smoking materials. Yes,
okay.
I was going to say that is the reason they say for the cause of the fire. Discarded smoking materials. So
dangerous.
Be careful.
Yep.
Our number 2 story, Joplin News First. Veterans Parade last weekend.
Yes.
It was a little wet, but a lot of people have been watching the video online and clicking on that story. It is a great time. I feel like it when nobody could come out for the rain, we had it so people could see it.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
absolutely
So
fantastic.
that's probably why we had a lot more people clicking on it and watching it. Some great bands, Joplin High School.
From all over the region.
East Newton was there, Missouri Southern was there. So next time, don't forget, it's the Saturday before Veterans Day, okay? KOAM, oh look, we were there too. There's Darren Dishman and his wife. Our number 1 story, KOAM News Now, a tragedy day before yesterday in Jasper, Missouri. These 2 vehicles were traveling southbound on I-49 approaching Jasper, and that pickup truck rear-ended a car. They say the driver of the car, there were 4 people in the car, fell asleep.
Fell asleep at the wheel
And
in the afternoon?
Yeah,
Okay.
in the driving lane was almost to a complete stop.
Wow.
So that's when the truck hit it, pushed them both across the median and stopped in the northbound lanes there. Didn't hit another vehicle, it was just those 2 involved, but 2 people did die in that crash, both residents of Carthage.
Both residents of
We've released their names. It's on our website. You can have more details, KOAMnewsnow.com. And then our bonus story of the week, it's tomorrow. I know you got to talk to the craft show people this week. I like watching you, I do.
Thanks, Shannon.
So the ladies were here, the Cecil Floyd PTA. They raise money every year. This is a huge tradition.
Yes.
Chris went to Cecil Floyd, so he even remembers. It's 33 years now they've done this. All the money goes to the kids. In the past, they bought laptops for all the kids. They bought.
Wow.
I mean,
yeah.
we're talking.
I mean, incredible. When they
serious.
came in, it's like they gave us a full laundry list.
And it's a juried craft show. Did they explain that to
Yes.
you? Yeah. So these are real crafted items. It's not just something you pick up at the dollar store and use some hot glue on.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Look
it's
at
really,
that.
really neat. They'll probably have about 120 this year, they said. These are pictures from last year.
Okay.
So tonight I'll get to go early, get a sneak peek, and we'll get pictures for you tonight. And we'll have those on our website. That's the big 3 today. That's your bonus.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Shannon. And of course, we'll have all this information on our website, already available right now. And of course, where can people keep up with you, Shannon?
All right. Right there. KOAMnewsnow.com. Joplin News First.
There you go. Well, Shannon, thanks so much for being with us this morning. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:42 on this Friday morning. Starting with this, we still have the frost advisories in Oklahoma and freeze warning in Benton County through 8 a.m. because, well, it got cold and it is still pretty darn cold out there this morning. However, we will be warmer later today as we go into the low 60s by noon. Yesterday, we were only in the 50s, and we'll have a south breeze about 5 to 10 miles an hour, and we will continue with the clear skies as we head through the afternoon and evening hours. Now, toward morning tomorrow, we'll start to see clouds increasing, winds increasing tonight too out of the south, gusting upwards of 20. We'll have partly cloudy skies, maybe some mostly cloudy skies from time to time. Winds tomorrow though out of the south gusting to 30, and will continue to be warm. Now, this is where it gets a little interesting. Our daytime highs, yes, they're going to be above average, but maybe about 10, possibly 12 degrees above normal, if that. But our overnight lows are going to be upwards of 20 degrees above normal, so there will not be much variance. So here we are, 5 o'clock Saturday, low to mid 60s, and as we go overnight, we're only falling back into the low to mid 50s out there, so only a 10-degree drop. We start our Sunday partly cloudy, then clouds increase through the morning, and that is ahead of showers and thunderstorms that'll start rolling in by Sunday evening around 5, where Chanute, Fredonia, Howard, Sedan, maybe to Coffeyville and Bartlesville, and these will continue to push through as we go through Sunday night and into our Monday with scattered showers and thunderstorms out there. Now for Monday, there is a slight chance of a strong storm or two, perhaps with small hail, gusty winds. We're not talking any significant severe weather, but it is a possibility as we head into Monday afternoon. So of course we'll keep you updated on that. In Joplin right now, skies are clear. It looks great. It is cold though, 39, south-southeast breeze at 5, making it feel like 36 degrees. Temperatures this morning, we have this pocket of 40s, Yates Center, Chanute, Iola, and the rest of us, for the most part, mid-upper 30s. A little cooler, Stockton, Jay, both sitting at 33 degrees this morning. But still, we're pretty close to where we should be for this time of year. Talking low 40s by 8 o'clock this morning. Clear skies, about 60 by 11 o'clock this morning. Into the afternoon, we are going upper 60s and maybe even a couple of low 70s out there with those sunny skies. Clear skies continue into the evening hours as well, and of course, like I mentioned, the winds will pick up tonight, back into the low 40s, back into the upper 60s, some low 70s possible Saturday, Sunday, maybe even into Monday. There's those showered storm chances, and they'll increase, of course, as we head into Monday. By Tuesday, we're seasonably cool, 60, but then that Arctic air settles in. Puts our temperatures overnight, upper 20s, low 30s through at least Thursday night, and our highs well below normal, even into next weekend, upper 40s, low 50s. So here's what we're watching. We've been talking about it. We have the rain chances, the slight rain chances Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Anything that falls during the day will be rain. It will be warm. It'll be cold. Yes, it's going to feel cold, but it'll be warm enough that it'll be rain. However, if any of those showers continue into the overnight hours, we could get some brief rounds of freezing rain, freezing drizzle, maybe a few flurries. We're not talking about any kind of significant winter weather event next week, but could be enough that we'll have some slick spots during our morning commutes on Thursday and Friday, so just something to keep in mind. And that's checking your forecast. I'm going to send it over to Lisa now with Health Watch, or Consumer Watch.
All right,
yeah,
thanks,
that's what she's doing.
Well, you will be paying less for a mortgage this week. Rates ticked slightly lower, ending a 6-week climb. Now, the average rate on a 30-year mortgage slipped to 6.78%, according to Freddie Mac. Now, that's still down from a year ago when the rate averaged 7.4%. The U.S. Postal Service loses billions after raising stamp prices twice. The agency says it lost $9.5 billion for its fiscal year ending September 30th. That's $3 billion more than last year's net loss. USPS has lost more than $100 billion since 2007. The agency said in September it would not increase stamp prices in January, following 2 price hikes for stamps in 2024, raising the cost of a forever stamp to 73 cents. The reign of King Dakar is now over. The Six Flags roller coaster in Jackson, New Jersey has been retired. King Dakar opened in 2005 as the world's tallest and fastest ride before Formula Rossa in Abu Dhabi broke its speed record in 2010. Six Flags execs say King Dakar and a few others, such as the Twister and Parachute rides, will be removed to make room for a new, quote, multi-record-breaking launch coaster, which is scheduled to debut in 2026. And those are a look at our top consumer stories. Let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell. Dinosaur skeletons are among the rarest of auction items, and this weekend an Apatosaurus discovered in Wyoming in 2018 will be the largest and most complete dinosaur skeleton ever offered in auction.
Owned by a French businessman, it's expected to fetch up to $22 million in what auctioneers are calling the dinosaur sale of the century.
Volcan is an American dinosaur in Paris.
La bête de Dampierre est un colossal.
The French call it La Bête de Dampierre, the Beast of Dampierre, after the magnificent chateau where it stands. It was one of the most visited tourist attractions in Paris during this year's Summer Olympics. And this weekend, it's hitting the auction block. Auctioneers say Volcan is one for the history books, the largest dinosaur skeleton ever to come to auction. The Apatosaurus was discovered in Wyoming in 2018. Excavation unearthed a skeleton 67.5 feet long with 80% of its bones intact. Dino skeleton auctions are rare. In 1997, a T-Rex named Sue sold for $8.4 million, seen here on display at the Field Museum in Chicago. Billionaire hedge fund manager Ken Griffin smashed that record earlier this year, buying Apex the Stegosaurus for a whopping $44.6 million. Expected to fetch less than half that, auctioneers hope an American will buy Vulcan, enabling a homecoming of sorts.
Yesterday I had a dream. Vulcan was talking to me and he said, "Bring me back to America."
Its eventual owner will have a few added bonuses, including the exclusive rights to officially rename the dinosaur.
Vulcan goes to auction in Paris on November 16th.
So if you're looking for something to spruce up your front yard or a fantastic Halloween decoration.
A couple million will set you back, but it'll be worth it.
Yeah, it'll definitely be the talk of the town if somebody private were able to buy that and just put it in their neighborhood. I mean, my goodness.
How about that?
Certainly impressive. What else is impressive is, well, just how cold it is now and how much warmer it's going to be a little later today. In fact, at least for the next, 7.5 minutes, we do have frost advisories into parts of northeast Oklahoma and a freeze warning in Benton County out there because it just got downright cold. But again, later today, we were in the 50s by noon yesterday. We are going to be in the 60s by noon today. Clear skies continue and a south breeze around 5 to 10 miles an hour. And that'll be the case as we head into our Saturday. Now, overnight, tonight, winds out of the south start increasing, gusts to 20. And by Saturday, they'll be gusting upwards of 30. We'll have partly to mostly cloudy skies throughout the day on Saturday, but we will be dry. It won't be until Sunday evening that we'll start to see showers and some thunderstorms begin to roll in. So by noon, still dry but cloudy, warm. And then here come those showers initially into southeast Kansas, parts of Oklahoma. And then we'll see shower and thunderstorm chances increasing overnight Sunday into our Monday. We'll have another look at your forecast and the news you need to know right after this.
Well, here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. 2 Carthage residents die in a crash on I-49 near Jasper. The crash happened Wednesday afternoon when a driver traveling south on the interstate fell asleep at the wheel, almost coming to a stop. A pickup then rear-ended the vehicle at highway speeds, and there were 4 people in the passenger car. 2 were taken to Joplin hospitals and 2 died at the scene. The driver of the pickup was not injured. The Arma City Council voted to increase electric rates. City Clerk Betty Lesson says the city will use the money to benefit the residents of the city of Arma. The rate will increase by 1.5% next March and then by another 1.5% next November. And the Joplin Association for the Blind celebrated its 100th year in its annual chili and soup fundraiser. The organization says the funds raised through events like this make a lot of difference. The organization provides services for more than 7,000 adults with vision loss in an 80-mile radius.
And we've got ourselves a warmer day out there, upper 60s, low 70s even in some locations. Sunny skies, south breeze 5 to 10. Clear skies will continue as we go through the evening, upper 40s by 10. Winds increasing overnight. South breeze gusting upwards of 20. We'll fall back into the low 40s. Our overnight lows Saturday and Sunday well above normal, but our highs above normal, but not as much as our overnight lows. Upper 60s, low 70s again. Evening showers, thunderstorms Sunday into Monday, and then that Arctic air arrives as we head into our Tuesday. And we're watching those rain chances next week as well. We could maybe see isolated, patchy, freezing rain at night if the rain continues. But again, not expecting any kind of significant winter weather. But it could be enough to cause a few slick spots for our morning commutes on Thursday and Friday.
Alrighty. Well, the holiday season begins at Disneyland today for the Holidays at the Disneyland Resort. Guests will be able to meet Santa Claus and select Disney characters at the Fantasyland Theater in Disneyland Park.
There will also be opportunities to search for decorative ornaments hidden throughout downtown Disney District in Chippendale's Ornament Trail Pursuit and experience new culture performance groups at Disney's Festival of Holidays in the Disney California Adventure Park. There's a lot of Christmas lights, a lot of decorations, man. Our communities around here do a good job, but man, I mean, it's all of our decorations in the 4 states combined into one location.
It really is, yes.
That's incredible. Well, thank you all so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We'll be back with more news and weather at noon.
Have a great rest of your morning.